Could you tell me about your mentors?
Mentor, well, Jerry would have to be number one. I mean, he was really the first one, really, as far as that went, or even on a student level, Dan Jupe, who was my freshman year roommate. I mean, I learned more about animation and filmmaking from him than I did my teachers. He would take us into CalArts library back then. They had these Steenbeck moviolas, and they had 16 millimeter prints of a bunch of the features. And we'd go in there with Dan, and we'd put those things on there, and he'd roll them slowly and back, and then he'd show us things like Peter Pan. He's fighting with Captain Hook, and he's taking his finger across the screen, and like, here's the end of the scene. Hold, now cut. In the next scene, he'd go from, to say, Captain Hook going over here, cut. Now Peter Pan's in that spot, and he's moving over here, and how you're leading the eye across and matching, so you're not getting lost. So when it's cutting real fast, your eye doesn't have to refigure out where it needs to go. It's there, and it's just picking up and going in another direction. So you're playing their motion against each other. It's stuff like this. It was like, wow, I just never thought about it, or cutting on a motion and things like this. That, yeah, it was really a wonderful experience with that, where we were just 24/7. So I'd put Dan as the first one, and then Jerry. Once I got out of school, I wanted to do funny cartoons. We did Sport Goofy, which was all, trying to be zany and funny and all that. On Toaster, Jerry was the one who really introduced me to controlled acting performances. I had to do these things with Toaster. Now, Toaster wasn't funny. He wasn't funny. She wasn't funny. It wasn't her thing to be funny. And so a lot of it was like serious stuff, where she's trying to be the glue of all this stuff and keep everybody together. And at first I didn't like it, but then there was the challenge of making her alive, putting a life behind her eyes. What's going on behind her eyes? You're trying to get a thought process across and these kind of things. And when you do that, and then you see it in the dailies and it comes back, and you're like, ooh, now I'm into this.
So Pumbaa, stand by me.
Were you waving hi to Jerry in Stand By Me when the toaster fell?
Yeah. we put a toaster in there. Yeah.
I saw the poster and I was like, that's the exact same poster.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We put the toaster in there. Yeah. You remember more of the stuff than I do, but yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah. You ask good questions. You're asking me questions nobody's asked me before. So
thank you, Steve. I appreciate that.
I don't have, I threw out some of my boring old stories, but there's some new stuff in